Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to remote learning, boys and girls. I hope you are fine and enjoying your vacation along with the learning. We have started our fourth week, and this is our geography section now. We are going to start another chapter from our geography section. Before that, we were studying our history section. So this is chapter number 8, and the topic is world's population. The page number is 67. Open your page 67, and before I start with the reading and revision along with the discussion more about the topic, you keep your copies, stationery items and book along with you so that you may do the written work once I complete the discussion. The topic here, the world population, is nothing new about it. We have discussed it during many times in different even subjects. We talked about it even in the other subjects like English and Urdu, and sometime when the population and its history is concerned, it is also discussed as we are discussing it in social studies. So it is a problem. Increasing population is increasing problem. So how it is done, how it is controlled, and how the world population is becoming to the level where it is causing some problems. So here let's start with the reading of the chapter. It is estimated that there are over 7,125,000,000 people in the world today. This was UN census, which was done by the US Census Bureau, and if these were standing with the arms outstretched, say 2 meters of each person, they would go more than 300 times around the equator. So this is how you can estimate how long and how much length it would be if they are standing hand to hand, and it will be more than 300 times around the equator. On the other hand, if every person was standing close together on 1 square meter of an area, the whole population of the earth could stand within the boundaries of a city of the size of Karachi, even if it would be a squash. So you can estimate how troublesome will be the situation if they are allowed to stand even in an area of 1 square meter. So it means that the large cities like the Karachi can even be insufficient if the whole population is gathered in one place. So situation is becoming difficult and it will be more difficult if there are less resources and more population. So let's see what is written further. So however, people are naturally not spread equally all over the surface of the world. This is how the nature has distributed the resources and the people in the different localities in different areas according to situation. But here again, some things which are to be taken into the account. There are the deserts and mountains, jungles and the other inhospitable places which are very few, where very few people live. Inhospitable mean the conditions are not so strong to commit the presence and living of the people. So only few kind or few types of generations of certain races of animals, and only few human beings can survive in such areas. So they are inhospitable basically because of their conditions. They are the fertile river valleys, rich plains, and the cities where the people are crowded together. This map will show roughly this how the population is spread all over the earth. So you can see peoples are not localized in one place. And we have already discussed in our first paragraph, if they are localized, then how would be the difficult the situation. So the God has created a system in which the peoples are not localized, but you can see from the map these are the areas which are shown the thickness of the population in these regions, while the remaining are almost empty and having lesser number of population as compared to the thick populated areas. So this is how population is variable in the different regions. So let's see what is further in this chapter. Again, there are certain calculations and certain you can say the comparison charts which will give us about the knowledge of world's population. So this is page number 68. So let's see what is here. A street scene in UK town. Note the sparse population. So population is very less over here. And looking at the population density map suggests the reason why the density is highest in the region A to H and why the region 1 to 8 are very low population density. So we are going to see this map again. What is drawn here? There are written different alphabets. For example, alphabet A to H, they are having the thick population, while 1 to 8, for example, this 8, 5, 6, 3, 2 and 1, they are showing the lesser number of population, while starting from A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, they are the areas which are thickly populated. So we will see what is more about these two such kind of figures. So let's see over here. A is the New York, B is the Europe, C is the Nile Valley, D is the Ganges Valley, E is the Mumbai, F is the Eastern China, and G is the Indonesia, and H is Japan. Now those areas which are less populated, they are from number 1 to 8, and they are Northern Canada, Amazon Basin, North Africa, Southwest Africa, Central Africa, North Asia, Arctic region and Central Australia. So these are those regions which are less population. You can see even with me, or after reading this chapter you can open the map once again to see which regions are highly populated while which are less populated. So population is variable. Different people are living in different areas, and increasing the population is causing some problems also. For example, in the third world countries like Pakistan, let's see this page. This problem is highlighting day by day because the resources are less and the problems are getting worse as the population is out of control. You can see in 1941 the figure was showing about 12,900 females and 15,400 females. Now situation is in 2007 we can see 82,980 males and 75,020 females. So this is a matter of 14 even years behind, when the population was even lesser than today. So what happens? Where is the future of these people? How can the change be made in the future? And what has to be done in past that is not done, and how the situation could be controlled in future? So this graph is also showing the male and female population within the region of Pakistan. So certainly the problems arise when the people are here and they are having less resources and population is more. So let's see the question of today, which is related to this topic. Our question is, what problems does a rapidly increasing population causes for a country? So answer is, problems caused by increasing the population are shortage of food, number 1, number 2, lack of basic needs, and number 3, less number of jobs, number 4, less housing, number 5, less resources. Then unrest. Due to less resources there might be some unrest. Number 7, poor living conditions. Number 8, bad health. Number 10, crimes. We will discuss more about these all points, and some more discussion would be done related to the world population in our upcoming lesson. So that is all for today, boys and girls. See you soon, inshallah. Do your work and submit in the Google Classroom timely. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.